Hellboy? My man, where do I even begin with you? I mean, let's be real for a second. You've got the looks of a demon, but deep down, I know you're a good guy. You're out here punching monsters, saving humanity, but something's missing, right? You're struggling. I get it. You've got this whole child of hell thing going on, and it's been confusing since day one. Your destiny was laid out like a bad horror movie script. Bring about the end of the world. That's a lot of pressure for anyone, let alone someone with a literal stone hand. I mean, couldn't they at least give you a normal hand? You'd think evil architects would pay attention to that sort of detail, but no. I guess it's all about the flair. But here's the thing, Hellboy. You're not stuck in that story. It's not written in stone. Well, your hand might be. But you know what I mean. I've seen people flip the script more times than you can imagine. And you, my red-skinned, cigar-chomping friend, are no different. You've got a chance to turn things around. Actually, it's more than a chance. I've got faith in you. Hey, if I didn't believe in redemption, I wouldn't have gone through what I did. Let me tell you, that whole crucifixion business, not exactly a vacation. But look, Hellboy, you're at a crossroads. You've been fighting monsters, sure, but you're still holding on to this idea that you're destined for something dark. It's like you're driving a car with the emergency brake on, and every time you get a little closer to something good, you remember your origins, and bam, back to square one. You've got to let go of that. You're not just the sum of your parts. You're more than the flames, the horns, and the hellfire. Don't let the family business drag you down. Trust me, I know all about complicated family dynamics. I mean, my dad created the universe and I still had to explain stuff to him. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Do you know how often I've had to say that? Honestly, more than I'd like to admit. Now let's talk about this whole end of the world prophecy thing. I get it. You were born into this role, right? Like, hey, Hellboy, congrats. Here's your destiny. Bring about the apocalypse. Not exactly a fun inheritance. But here's a secret for you. Nobody's born bad. Not even you. You've been around for a while, Hellboy. But it's never too late to change. You've got free will. Remember that. You're not a puppet. Not for the forces of evil. And not even for the Bureau. Yeah, I see what they've been up to. Sending you out to do their dirty work, like you're some kind of weapon. But you're not just a weapon. You've got a soul, man. A big, beautiful, misunderstood soul. You know, there's this verse. Well, you've probably heard it a million times, but humor me. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Now I know what you're thinking. Jesus, have you met my enemies? And to that I say, yes. Yes, I have. And I'm telling you, there's something powerful about loving people who don't deserve it. I know you've got your fair share of enemies. Demons, ancient gods, bureaucrats, the guy who invented pineapple on pizza. But love is a radical act, my friend. It changes everything, even for someone like you. Look, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. You've got more baggage than an airport, and we both know you've made some, let's call them, questionable decisions. There was that time you unleashed an ancient entity just because it looked like a good fight. Yeah, not your finest moment. And remember that one time you almost let the world end just because you were having a bad day? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But here's the kicker. No matter how many times you mess up, it's never too late to turn it around. Trust me, I've dealt with worse. One time I had to stop an entire army of demons just by showing up. I didn't even get a thank you. But you've got a unique opportunity here, Hellboy. You've got a foot in both worlds, good and evil, and you get to choose which one you're going to walk in. That's not something everyone gets. You're not doomed to follow in the footsteps of the bad guys. You can make a new path. And I'm not talking about some redemption arc that's all neat and tidy by the end of the movie. Real change is messy. It takes time. It's one small decision after another. but it's worth it. I know you've had moments where you've thought, maybe I'm too far gone, maybe I'm too messed up to be saved. But let me stop you right there. There's no too far gone with me. That's not a thing. I've seen people who were way worse off than you come back to the light. Remember Saul? Dude was literally hunting down my followers, and now people call him Saint Paul. Talk about a glow-up. And Saul didn't have a giant stone hand or a tail. You've got style, Hellboy. Use it for good. Think about it. You've spent your life fighting monsters, but have you ever tried helping people without the punching part? I know, it's kinda your thing, but hear me out. What if you used that same strength, that same power, to lift people up instead of smashing stuff down? You'd be unstoppable. You've already got the tools. You just need to shift your focus a bit. Turn those fists into, well, still fists, but you get what I mean. Fists of good. Look, Hellboy, the world needs you, and not just to punch the next demon that pops up. They need your heart, man. They need your weird, grumpy, sarcastic, deeply misunderstood heart. Because that's where real change happens. It's not about the battles you fight with monsters on the outside. It's about the battle you're fighting on the inside. And I know you're tired. I see it in your eyes. But I'm telling you, you don't have to keep carrying all that weight. Lay it down. Give it to me. I'll take it. That's literally what I'm here for. Hellboy, let's talk about some of the stuff you've done. I know you're thinking, here we go. Time to bring up all the embarrassing moments. But trust me, I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm here to help you laugh at yourself a little. Because sometimes we need to lighten up to see things clearly. Remember that time you, accidentally summoned a whole legion of demon frogs? Yeah, that one's hard to forget. Sure, it wasn't the apocalypse, but it wasn't your best day either. The thing is, though, even in moments like that, there's a lesson. You've got to ask yourself, why did I make that choice? Was it because you were angry, frustrated, or just trying to prove something? And then there's that one time, let's be honest, you know which one I'm talking about. When you almost decided, hey, maybe I'll just end the world after all. I'm not really feeling it today. Look, I've had those days too, believe me. Remember when I flipped those tables in the temple? That wasn't just about some bad business practices. That was me having a moment. But here's the thing. You always have a choice, even in the worst moments, especially in the worst moments. And Hellboy, you've got this habit of being your own worst critic. You mess up, and then you carry that weight with you like a backpack full of bricks. Let me ask you this. Have you ever tried putting that backpack down? No, seriously. You're so busy carrying the guilt of your past mistakes that you're missing the point. Every time you go into battle, it's not just you versus the monsters. It's you versus your own guilt, your own doubt. And man, that's exhausting. Even a guy with a giant stone hand gets tired of carrying all that baggage. But here's what I want you to know. Redemption isn't just some fancy theological concept. It's not just about wiping the slate clean. It's about transformation. It's about taking all those mistakes, all those bad decisions, and learning from them. It's about realizing that, yeah, you've made some bad calls, but that doesn't define who you are. Remember when you saved that group of people from those vampires? Sure, you destroyed half a city block in the process, but those people are still alive because of you. You're capable of good, Hellboy. You just need to believe it. Now I know what you're thinking, but Jesus, I'm a demon. It's literally in my name. Yeah, well, names don't mean everything. Take it from a guy whose name has been used in more arguments than I care to count. It's not about the name you're given. It's about the choices you make. You might have been born into a destiny of destruction, but you don't have to follow that path. There's a difference between what people expect you to be and who you actually are. You're fighting the wrong battle, Hellboy. You think the enemy is out there, in the form of some big, ugly demon or another ancient evil. But the real fight is in here. Jesus points to his chest. It's in your heart. That's where the real war is being waged. And here's the good news. You've already won. You just don't know it yet. You've already got everything you need to turn this thing around. You've got the power to choose good, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Remember this, redemption is a journey, not a destination. It's something you're always working on, step by step. And yeah, sometimes it's going to feel like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but that's okay. The important thing is that you're moving in the right direction. And Hellboy, you've got a lot more good in you than you realize. I see it, and one day you're going to see it too.